I support one side because I've rocked with Cuban all these years. I've always been with him all these years. Always been by his side all these years. Joe. Was there time? I love Joe. I love that nigga, like brother from the block. Whether you believe it or not, Joe, I loved you. You know what I'm saying? As a brother and everything. Just you did shit that was just hurtful. You know what I'm saying? That made a nigga just dislike you. I never hate nobody because if I hate you, I swear to God, niggas could tell you if I hate you, dogs, you ain't walking. You ain't the fuck that. It's not happening like that. So that's why I try not to have hate in my heart to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'll dislike a man. I'll dislike people, but I can't have hate because the hate to me is something that I can't walk with. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. But, this man has been put through fucking a lot, bro. A lot through the years. And I saw it. I seen his pain. I seen his happiness. I seen his sorrow. I seen it all. You know what I'm saying? And then, we been through the arguments and all of that. But, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? God bless everybody. You know what I mean? Big up to Joe, you know what I'm saying, for the success. And, big up to my brother because I always be there to help him and I always got his back for whatever he needs. You know what I'm saying? But, it's not, with me, ain't no beef in my heart. Ain't no hate in my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? I'm having fun. I'm living my life. I'm having a great time with my life. You know what I'm saying? I got the woman of my dreams by my side. Knew her since she was fucking 15 years old. You know what I mean? So, I'm great. I'm great, man. I don't want, I just wish that people could come together. You know what I'm saying? And just stop the shit and everybody eat. Joe, let everybody eat, nigga. You know that you're going to get a huge bag if you let everybody eat? Think about that. Big bag. But do it because you really want to do it. Don't do it because of the bag. Do it because this is something I just want to stop and move forward with. You know what I mean?
Let's go here. Okay. What was your reaction when you found out what happened between Joe and Cuban? And how did you find out?
They called me.
Who called you?
From the hospital. Who the fuck called me? My cousin called me first. Earl called me. And he told me, yo, they just called that fucking Cuban is in the hospital. I was like, what happened? And that's when they told me what happened and shit like that. That, he got cut up and all that and everything. And I talked to him a couple of days after that.
So you found out about the fight. So what were you thinking about that when that happened?
Honestly, I didn't really know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I just know that he got cut up. I didn't know who did it, what happened, blah, blah, this and that and that. As time started going on, started hearing the story and finding out what happened, I was honestly more upset of the people that were there that should have rocked with Cuban and how the story was that everybody turned their back on him and walked out and walked away from him and just left him in a fucking alley like he was a wet fucking dog. You know what I mean? That was the hurtful part about it.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You said you talked to him a few days after that initial.
It was a while after that. A while after that shit when I spoke to him.
Oh, okay.
And he just told me, he was like, yo, it's fucking on, this and that, and that. And niggas, just, what you would generally do if something like that would happen to you. You know what I'm saying?
Did you want to step in and mediate that situation at that time?
Nah, because I was in my own life, doing my own thing. I got nothing to do with that shit. That's why I said that I was neutral. I was neutral. I didn't take, I wasn't, I was, like I said, I was more mad at the niggas that were there that should have stepped in for him and been like, yo, or at least helped him. You know what I'm saying? I know that Remy helped them and shit like that after the fact or whatever, but, there was niggas that they wouldn't have been in this fucking business, music or nothing if it wasn't. Let me make something clear. The relationship with Pun and Cuban was one of the realest fucking relationships you would ever seen two grown men, human beings have. Those dudes really treated each other and loved each other like they were brothers. Brothers. Don't get it twisted. Brothers. Pun, from what I heard, had a relationship with Joe too, a great relationship, really good relationship. But it was nothing like the relationship with Pun and Cuban. Them niggas was like fucking straight brothers. See, you know what I mean?
That's the thing though. Like people try to discredit that relationship between Pun and Cuban because they say, oh, well, how come he doesn't have a tattoo? How come Pun didn't have a tattoo of him and Cuban then? He had one of Joe or whatever.
Yo, I love my mother. I don't got a fucking tattoo of my mother on my body. My mother's more important than anybody on this fucking planet.
I know, but
You know how they say put God first? I put my mother first. I don't got a tattoo of her. Represent. No, come on, dude. Because you don't got a tattoo of the next nigga. Come on, bro. I was there. I was there. There. I was there when Cuban held the baby, when Pun held his baby. I was there.
So what do
I
you
was there when Cuban was in his house every day, pretty much lived with him. Come on.
So what do you think about what Tony said, where he said, like, oh, we were all his brothers, we were all his best friends?
Listen to me very closely. Tony came in after the fact. Tony came in when the music part came in. All right? When the music part came in. Tony was there because Tony was from the block. Tony was from the block. It wasn't like he came from a different block. No, he was from the block. But when we was all starting the whole Full Eclipse thing, Tony wasn't there. He came in after the fact. Joe didn't even want to fuck with this nigga with music or even have him do a hook or nothing like that, bro. I was there. I heard the conversations way before all of that shit.
What do you mean? You heard Joe say that, oh, I don't want to work with him, I don't like him, or what?
Too young, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. Or, you know, because, you know, like to me, Tony was learning his voice, right? Singing or whatever. But the kid was talented to this day. Not even gonna take that shit away from him to this day.
He's a talented singer, no doubt.
Very talented. And, you know, he had his obstacles that he went through. You know what I'm saying? Those were hard obstacles. That wasn't easy to come out of. Don't get it twisted either. Because what he went through as well with the drugs and all of that shit, that was a very dark and hard place to come out of. And he did it. You feel me? He did it. But as in what positions people were in? No, my dude. No. Let me tell you, I wasn't even there. Cuban was there from the beginning. I wasn't even there from the beginning. I was brought into their relationship. Remember, Pum was the one that introduced me to Cuban at the pool hall. I was brought into it. But that relationship right there was always there way before every fucking body, bro. Way before everybody. That bond between them, and I was there with that bond between them niggas, bro, was inseparable. Inseparable.